So, most recent fun fact is I got my wisdom teeth removed, all 4 of them. I had to go to the hospital to get it done. I had to be put under. It had to knock me out because of my Tourette's. Like, if I would have been making movements or anything during having them have stuff in my mouth and removing teeth, that wouldn't have been very good. It was my first time going under, and I was pretty freaked out about that, but it ended up being pretty much worse than I thought. Because I woke up with a tube in my throat and I couldn't breathe or anything. And then they pulled it out. But they should have warned me that I wasn't going to be able to breathe. Yeah. So I had my teeth removed, and then my face swole up the size of a volleyball. And I was like a chipmunk with a face full of nuts. Well, that's a talent. Can you guys do that? Okay. Other news is completely unrelated to my channel. Or not that the teeth were related to my channel. It's hard to say. My grandmother died this morning. She had Alzheimer's really badly. And she stopped eating and drinking and just pretty much let herself die, and that's pretty much one of the last, a common way to die with Alzheimer's. So I don't even know what I'm saying. I guess my grandmother, she rocks, or rocked, and I'll always remember her well, and I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. So, okay, the subject of the video would be, bringing tools into the hospital. That was something that I would do. In the beginning, the first times that I was admitted to the hospital, I would bring in tools, and I'm really, really ashamed of that now, so it's hard for me to admit that I used to bring in tools, but I did, and it was pretty stupid. But I really didn't care in the beginning because a lot of my hospital stays at the time were for my eating disorders, and I felt that I was going to be working on my eating disorders and not my cutting. So I brought tools in. I brought safety pins and razor blades, pretty much anything sharp. I'd hide them in most creative places. Not that creative. Like my hair, in my clothes. Yeah, and they pretty much freaked out at the hospital because I was hurting myself badly. And I felt like I could hurt myself badly because I was somewhere where if I did it too badly, then I would be safe, because I didn't really want to die of it. But I would have been somewhere where it could have been taken care of. I did that for probably about 3 months, I think, that I would bring in tools to the hospital. But then I had the sense kind of knocked into me by one of the nurses. She was very direct, and I thank her for it. Very much I thank her for it, for being so direct, because it was a sign that she cared, and she was doing what she needed in order to knock some sense into me. So I'm wondering if you guys have ever smuggled in tools to the hospital, and if you've ever, hurt yourself at the hospital. And if you have or haven't, just your general opinion, does bringing in tools necessarily mean that a person is an attention seeker? This occurred to me because of a comment someone left me saying that I was needing attention based on the fact that I had brought in tools. And they didn't say it meanly or anything. It was a perfectly legitimate comment. Like they weren't saying it to be mean. I'm saying, and it made me think. Well, I don't feel like I cut for attention. I think that I can appreciate attention very much. Like, if someone gives me positive attention or just like takes care of me, like that's attention that I can appreciate, and who wouldn't? But the purpose of self-injury doesn't necessarily have to be for attention. But that's my opinion. I'm wanting to know your opinions. I guess it kind of depends on the person, because there are people who do cut for attention and bring in the tools in the hospital for attention. Oh, and I read a book recently. What is it called? I don't even remember what it's called. But it was about self-injury, a self-injurer, and she would bring in tools to the hospital all regularly and hurt herself there. So that made me also think to start this topic. And if you guys can leave comments or video responses, anything, maybe have a chat about this, I think it would be interesting. Yeah. Whatever.